Americans have a bad culture. They are too stupid and lazy for technology jobs. They have bad role models, favoring sports over college education. Because American parents don't do better, we need to import vast amounts of Asian immigrants for even the lowest level of tech jobs. But don't worry, Americans will have plenty of jobs picking produce in the fields because we are deporting South American migrants. It is simply impossible to get Americans worth hiring. Now, would you be shocked to know that the two people pushing that style of messaging right now are handpicked by Trump to run the Department of Government Efficiency? You shouldn't be. Vivek and Elon have been very clear about their thoughts on American workers for a long time. But somehow, MAGA figures are only realizing now that their version of Make America Great Again is just them personally profiting at the cost of Americans. Now, Elon Musk is, in my opinion, rightfully getting most of the hate, and people are backing it up with receipts, and we'll get to that. But I feel we need to start with Vivek's messaging, which is just simply not going over well. What mostly set all of this off is a Trump appointee suggested getting rid of the caps for H-1B visas. Now, these are the visas that's supposed to be used to bring in people from technology fields that you cannot fill using American labor. And it's supposed to help technology companies grow because you can always have the best and the brightest working at the companies, something like that. Now, in reality, that's not really how they end up used a lot of the time, and it ends up going to lower level jobs that simply just pay so low that Americans won't take it. Now, another thing about H-1B visas is that they can much easier be abused by an employer because, for example, Elon Musk, when he got Twitter, a lot of people were fired or quit, and there was reporting that almost the entire skeleton crew left were on these visas, and people asked why didn't they quit? Well, if they were to quit, they would not only lose their job, they would possibly be deported if they didn't find another job in the tech field that applied for the H-1B visa, but also they wouldn't be able to send money home back to their families. They weren't slaves, but they were trapped. And that is why H-1B is much beloved by Elon Musk, for example. It is very nice for that. And we're going to get into some of the jobs later that he is hiring for with H-1B and currently has filled. But as I said, let's start with Vivek. I just thought we needed a little understanding of why Vivek is even opening his mouth. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation, okay? A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ, or the jock over the valedictorian, will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World and Zach and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell, or Steven over Steve Urkel in Family Matters, will not produce the best engineers. Fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids could watch those TV shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity, and their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates. More movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chillin', more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view those kinds of kids with scorn. If you grow up aspiring to normalcy, normalcy is what you will achieve. Now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raised their kids according to one model versus the other. Be brutally honest. Normalcy doesn't cut it in a hyper-competitive global market for technical talent. And if we pretend like it does, we'll have our asses handed to us by China. This can be our Sputnik moment. We've awakened from slumber before, and we can do it again. Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden era in America, but only if our culture fully wakes up. A culture that once again prioritizes achievement over normalcy, excellence over mediocrity, and nerdiness over conformity, hard work over laziness. That's the work we have cut out for us rather than wallowing in victimhood and just wishing or legislating alternative hiring practices into existence. I'm confident we can do it. Now, how is MAGA taking this statement? Well, they're taking it has a brutal attack on Make America Great Again. Because this is not about going back to how America was in the 90s. This is about getting rid of America, turning America into other countries' culture, destroying the culture of America, which, funny enough, a lot of different MAGA figures kept celebrating, we need Trump to save American culture. And now American culture just isn't good enough. A lot of course, racist factions are mad at this, but also people that believe that we need to make American, hire American, are absolutely appalled by these statements. Now, people, of course, are not just appalled by this. People are just now finding out about Vivek's history involving an Alzheimer's drug that does not work. Now, I'm not going to get into that in this video, but if you've never looked into that, I recommend it. And then if you still support Vivek, you're probably going to realize he's not a great guy. Now, Vivek, of course, is getting a lot of attacks because, very simply, he is not white. So he gets a lot of hate because he's a minority pushing for more minorities to be brought into America, and people that believe in the Great Replacement conspiracy theory are now, some of them, believing that Vivek is now at the head of it. Yeah, it is a bad time to be MAGA. They are infighting like crazy. But we haven't got into Elon Musk because Elon Musk has very, very vocally supported more foreign labor, especially for himself. Now, there are a lot of Elon messages and replies I could show, but I think this really shows the core of the issue with Elon. You can look up the other messages, of course, yourself, and you can see where he's trying to play defensively and fix what Vivek did. Maybe this is a helpful clarification. I am referring to bringing in, via legal immigration, the top 0.1% of engineering talent as being essential for America to keep winning. This is like bringing the Jokic, Ticks, Wembys, I don't know who these people are, of the world to help your whole team, which is mostly Americans, win the NBA. So he's going with a sports reference after the sports culture Vivek just called out. Thinking of America as a pro sports team that has been winning for a long time and wants to keep winning is the right mental construct. This, by the way, has a really bad backlash as well, because a lot of MAGA don't like any foreigners coming in and being in things like the NBA. So that's kind of funny that he went with that approach, but he did. Now, when he says top 0.1%, he means things like a $73,000 materials planner, because that's what this is. This is the H-1B salary database for Tesla. These are real H-1B visa jobs that Elon is looking for. These are not top 0.1% engineer, and you know that right immediately by seeing that salary number. And if it was that, why are the salaries so low? Because if they set the salary so low, he doesn't have to pay an American who's qualified the rate, the pay that they deserve. Elon Musk supports getting rid of caps on H-1B for his own personal financial interest. This is not about saving America or helping America. Anytime Elon Musk says the word America, replace it with I or me. This is a personal push to make him even more money. Now remember, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. That was about legal immigrants working a job that there were not Americans in the area willing to work. So let's say they get deported because of Trump. The new thing that would happen is they would just import new people with H-1B visas to do that same work. Maybe from a different country. But that's the situation that we are sitting at. And a lot of people in the MAGA sphere don't believe that's MAGA. They don't like that. Because that's not what they thought they were voting for. And Elon Musk is not an elected official. He's just the shadow president ruling over Donald Trump. And in a way, I wonder if the attack from MAGA figures is coordinated. A way that they see to dethrone Elon before Trump is in office, because the push against this is absolutely massive. It is hard to find a portion of MAGA that is supporting Elon and Vivek right now. They do have support, but it's from the cryptocurrency Doge meme Elon Musk people, not really MAGA. A few people that make their living off of Twitter and get a lot of retweets from Elon are also supporting him, but they're not political figures, political commentators, or anyone with pull. Basically, Elon and Vivek jumped in this and told MAGA that we need to not hire Americans because their culture is bad. Now, of course, some H-1B labor is needed and it's useful, and pretending it's not abused, though, is ridiculous. It's abused all the time. There have been complaints that Trump himself is abusing immigrant visas for work at Mar-a-Lago. So I don't think this is a true outrage from the MAGA figures. They all knew this. Everyone knew this going in. This isn't new information. I just think this is MAGA's first and maybe only attempt they need. We'll see how well it succeeds. MAGA's first attempt at expelling Elon Musk. Now, while doing this, it's also brought a lot of racism being pushed against Indian Americans. Just uncalled for racism. Which has led some MAGA figures to literally post that they are one of the good ones. And funny enough, do you know who's not joining in this discussion at all? J.D. Vance, who has children who are half Indian. He always seems to stay out of these issues when it involves the race of his kids or his wife. Wonder why that is. But I thought I would just let you know that these arguments are happening, and Elon is not winning them. Literally, by the hour, more people are turning against him and Vivek. And every time they try to explain, it gets worse. It gets worse because every time a little bit more of what they really think slips out. The question is, will Elon get so upset that he starts banning people on Twitter, pointing out that he is not America first, that he is not MAGA? My guess is yes, I think Elon will. Because I think Elon is going to see this as a massive, massive danger to himself and his power.